When you think of the modern presidency, you think of famous couples, JFK and Jackie, whose inimitable sense of style turned the White House into the premier venue for art and culture, and redefined the role of the First Lady. Presidential couples that followed nearly all lived up to that model, including Gerald and Betty Ford, George and Laura Bush, Barack and Michelle Obama, Joe and Jill Biden. In all these presidencies and more, the First Lady was a model of grace and an advocate for social causes. Until, of course, you get to the convicted felon and adjudicated rapist Trump and his former Lady of the Evening and current grifter, Melania, whose only social cause is Melania. I'm going to play video of what a laughingstock Melania has become, and you are going to want to see how no one takes her seriously anymore. Now, Trump and Melania have never been the happy couple. We've lost count how many times she smacked his hand away. But this time around, Melania doesn't even pretend to live in the White House and is leaving Trump to flounder all on his own. So when he's not being stuffed into a catering cart, Trump is out there on his own proving to everyone that he's playing poker with a euchre deck. Like this.
Remember, I used to say that about James Comey. I was right.
Wait, what did Trump say about James Comey? Oh, right. He sells seashells down by the seashore. But let's listen more.
These are dishonest. These are dirty cops. You know the expression? You got dirty cops, too. Letitia James is essentially a dirty cop. And you have a person running, who I just met today for the first time, and I've endorsed her, running for Attorney General. Where the hell are you, ma'am? Where are you? And I'm hearing you have a hell of a shot. Her resume is unbelievable, but...
So Letitia James is running against Ma'am? Is that short for Mrs. Ma'am Donnie? Is Mom Donnie's wife running against Letitia James? Why not? According to Trump, she has a heck of a resume. And while Trump is talking about dirty cops, let's talk about dumb cops. Because the literal brown shirts behind him are so dumb, they can't even figure out that Trump can't even remember the name of the candidate he just endorsed. So you know what they say, the only ones stupider than a fool are the fools that follow him. Ladies and gentlemen, the fools that follow him and walk around with guns. Yes, it's frightening. But these are the things that happen when Trump is left to wander off by his own with only 34-year-old Natalie Harp to watch after him. Because Melania is nowhere to be found, as these panelists observed. Watch.
People who need to show up. Melania Trump, let's talk about Melania Trump. She hasn't, you noted that Trump himself hasn't been seen, but she hasn't had a public event in a month. Joanna, talk about this because what's happening here?
We did an audit of Melania's public appearances, and in the last month, we haven't seen her since July the 4th. So the question is, what is the First Lady doing? Mm-hmm. The United States has a First Lady, mm-hmm. and she is almost never at the president's side. We're pretty confident they don't live there. She doesn't appear to live at the White House, so she either lives in Florida or in New York, which is kind of odd. But she just doesn't show up. She's shown up a third less than Jill Biden or Michelle Obama or Laura Bush. Mm-hmm. She is the least visible First Lady of this entire century. So what is she doing?
So begs the question, do we care? Does it matter?
Well, I mean, I don't know that it matters that much. For people that love Trump, they love Melania Trump. I will say that part of the reason why she may not be around is because Trump is taking a lot of the stuff that a First Lady would do. He's redesigning the White House. He's decorating. He's taking on, he wants to do everything. He's taking on the First Lady role, too.
Melania is just gone. She's just gone, and she will not show up for much more of the presidency, if you ask me, unless it is to promote a book, a movie, her new reality show, which is coming out, which is one of the greater abominations of this entire administration. We're allowing Melania to do more media. Is anyone consuming that? Someone wants the Melania reality show? Okay, yeah, I really know that Jeff Bezos wants those tax breaks, but is it worth it to punish the consumer like this? It is truly wild shit. And what is she even going to talk about? It's focused on the first few weeks of the term because she certainly doesn't want to focus on the rest, because what has the rest been consumed with? Conversations about the files. It's why my friend Jennifer Welch believes Melania is hiding right now, and it is really just kind of the perfect segue into this news out of Katie Phang and Democrats on Oversight.
But Amanda starts tweeting that basically Melania was a hooker. This is what Melania's friend says. I'm not saying this. This is what her friend said. Melania's
this has all been reported. Yeah.
Melania's a hooker. She was introduced to Trump via Jeffrey Epstein. The last time we heard anything substantive out of Melania Trump was her batshit crazy press conference where she claims she's not a hooker, and she's talking about dignity, honor, respect. I do not know Jeffrey Epstein. This must end now, she says. And so then, since then, it's been crickets.
That was good, Jen.
Thank you.
That's really good. Can I get a little bit more of the Melania?
Yes. My husband, Donald, is an expert in mathematics, architecture. My husband likes to keep the streets safe from rapists. I am not ochre. I am not ochre. I am high-end ochre. And I do not have sex with husband, Donald. I do not fuck Donald. You didn't know I had it in me, did you, Don?
I did
Welch's
not.
Lemonade.
Have you been practicing that?
A little bit.
All right, so Melania makes the big announcement. She says, not in files, new husband, he knew, I don't knew. And then she's just gone. And then she runs away. And then she's silent. Sure, she'll promote her movie. In fact, she actually referenced her book, Melania did, during that press conference, still trying to get a book plug in. It's like, my God, that's just a lot of selling that we're doing. But I guess that's kind of Melania's history, is selling herself. But this is why we need to be talking about the files all the time. Because these people clearly would like us to have a conversation about literally anything else. But Melania is finally getting what she deserves, because now we know where she ranks on the list of people who need to talk about those files, and it is not good news for her. Melania Trump clobbered by bombshell threat as investigators closed in on the files. Lawyer and journalist, friend of the show, Katie Phang, warned that Melania Trump tops the subpoena list for lawmakers planning an Epstein probe. Phang is leading a lawsuit against Attorney General Todd Blanche to hold the Trump administration accountable for its obligation to release certain Epstein records by law. On a Friday podcast episode, she described the title as a bombshell. Phang spoke with Rep. Robert Garcia about his pledge to carry out an investigation of Epstein and uncover more about the deceased sex criminal after the midterms. Garcia and Phang predicted that Democrats would retake the House after the midterms, along with the Oversight Committee. As the ranking Democrat on the committee, Garcia expects to find himself in a position to start dishing out subpoenas, and Phang noted at the top of that list is a woman by the name of Melania Trump. Garcia explained Republicans have set a precedent that we can subpoena and talk to first ladies and former first ladies and family members of the president by going after Hunter Biden and the Clintons. He plans to leverage that precedent and go after Melania to discover what she knows about Epstein. I mean, does anyone here across the country think that the first lady doesn't have additional information? Garcia said Melania Trump and Epstein were photographed together with Trump and Ghislaine Maxwell at a Mar-a-Lago party in February of 2000. Phang noted Melania's bizarre press conference in April 2026, where she denied ever being his friend or victim while calling on Congress to let survivors testify at public hearings. Garcia said that the speech made it clear she wants the investigation to move forward. She made that clear, and so we're very interested, Garcia said. There's no question that we want to talk to the First Lady. Melania clearly has information. Garcia added, there's a lot of speculation about who knew when, who was introduced to who, when and how, and so I think those are valid questions, and evoked Melania's own words to call on her to tell the truth. If Melania Trump wants real justice for the survivors, then she would work with us to try to get the truth, Garcia said. Absolutely she would, wouldn't she, if Melania wanted that real justice, if Melania wanted that truth to come out. But we know she doesn't. We know Melania's implicated. We know Melania is pushing just as much as anyone for Todd Blanche and the rest of those weaponizing the DOJ to keep their names out of the press. They don't want to be talking about this. They do not want a conversation at all because they are terrified. And Melania is complicit, right? Just because she held a press conference and pretended that everyone was going after her and her good name, which was maybe my favorite part of the entire press conference, not the way that it humiliated or surprised Donald Trump and the entirety of the White House staff, but Melania claiming that she had some right to protect her reputation.
Welcome to our channel, Yes Political News. My name is David. I am the newscaster. I am reaction on this video. It's time to answer a question that people have been asking throughout Donald Trump's second term. Where is Melania Trump? The question has come up again and again, and according to the commentary in this video, Melania has been keeping a very low profile while also making money from her connection to the presidency, but now she may have another reason to stay out of the spotlight, the Epstein files, and today we have new development involving Melania Trump, Democrats in Congress, and attorney and journalist Katie Fang. So let's start with the biggest question: where have Melania been? CNN recently discussed Melania's long absence from public event. According to reporting from the Daily Beast, Melania had not appeared publicly since July 4th. That raises an obvious question: what exactly is the First Lady doing? Melania has been far less visible than other First Lady in recently history. Sure, she does not appear to spend much time at the White House, and that she has spent much of Trump's second term away from the public eye. Some people may say that it does not really matter, but it is unusual. The First Lady traditionally has a public role even if she does not have an official government position. And Melania has been one of the least visible First Lady on this century. There is always another interesting part of this story. Donald Trump has taken some of the traditional First Lady type activities himself. He has been heavily involved in decorating and changing the White House, so perhaps Melania simply does not feel the need to be around as much. But there is another possibility. Maybe she is staying away because the Epstein files are becoming a bigger problem. And that brings us to the latest development. Attorney and journalist Katie Fang says Melania Trump could be one of the people lawmakers want to question the Democrats' region control of the House. According to this decision, Representative Robert Gorgia has said that Democrats could use their congressional oversight power to investigate Epstein-related matters, and Melania could potentially be on the list of people they want to question. Why? Because lawmakers want to know what people close to Epstein knew, why they knew it, and who they were connected to him. This is not simply about Melania, it is about getting answers. If lawmakers are investigating Epstein and his connections, they may want to speak with anyone who could have relevant information. And Melania has previously been photographed about Jeffrey Epstein, Donald Trump, and Ghislaine Maxwell. That does not automatically prove what's wrong, but it does explain why investigators could have a question, and that is why Melania previously comments about Epstein could become important. She has publicly denied being this friend or being involved with him. She has also, for Epstein servers to have the opportunity to speak publicly. Yes. So if lawmakers eventually ask Melania a question under your, they may simply want to explain what she saw. And that is a very different situation from simply making a statement at a press conference when you testify under oath. You have to answer question directly. You cannot simply walk away from the issue, and this is where the Epstein Files Transparency Act become important. The law discussed in this story says records should not be withheld or delayed simply because releasing them could cause embarrassment, damage someone's reputation, or create a political problem. The major question: how will the government actually release the information required by law? According to Katie Fang, the deadline has already passed. She argues that every day after December 19, 2025 without his required disclosure represent another violation of the law. She also says the Justice Department has failed to fully comply with court requirement, and this is why she filed a lawsuit. Her argument is simple: Congress passed a law requiring these records to be released. Documents were released, but many people believe important information is still missing or heavily redacted. So the question becomes, if the government violates the law, who is going to force it completely? That is why Fang say she is trying to do through the court. And this is much bigger than just Melania Trump. No. The larger issue is whether wealthy and powerful people receive different treatment from everyone else. Epstein had connection to extremely wealthy and influential people. That is why the public want to know exactly who now what he want to happen in the future by the Trump. And if people come close to powerful figures, that information lawmakers may eventually want answers from them. That could include member of the Trump family. It could include other political figures, and it could include people from the business and social circles surrounding Epstein. The important thing is that questions should be answered based on evidence, not rumors, and that is exactly why this investigation matters. Now there is another interesting part of the story. Donald Trump recently tried to compare his relationship with Melania to another couple, but the comparison quickly became political. The other couple argued that America should be about a building future. For the latest news of USA and for the Trump, stay with me, stay with David, and subscribe our channel and hit the bell icon.